Unit 3, Track 8.
Hello everyone, and welcome aboard the Sunshine Express on our journey from London to Naples. I'm Jane Sharp, the train manager, and I hope you'll all enjoy the trip. Before we depart, I'd like to tell you a bit about the train and its facilities. Now we're here on the observation deck, which is where you'll probably spend most of your trip, as it offers the best views. And directly below us is, we call it our leisure centre. There are some games machines, a television, a small library, and so on. If you've brought a laptop or computer with you, you can also get onto the internet here, as it has full Wi-Fi capability. There's also a small bar where you can get tea, coffee, and light meals. For lunch and dinner, you'll use the restaurant car, which is at the front of the train. You'll have breakfast in your cabins, by the way, which will be brought to you by your steward. The two cars behind the restaurant are where you'll find the second-class cabins. Each cabin has seats which are changed into beds at night. You'll also find a simple basin for washing and a small fold-down table. First-class passengers, your cabins are at the back of the train. To get to them, you'll need to pass through the lounge. This can be used by everyone during the day, but is exclusive to first-class passengers after 6 p.m. Right at the back of the train, basically as far as you can go, is my office. If anyone needs to see me, though, please use the phone in your cabin rather than coming to the office. Just press 1 and you'll get me. If I'm not there, tell your steward you need to see the manager and he or she will look for me.
Unit 3, Track 9.
Right, let me give you a bit more information about the trip. The first part of our journey is from London to Paris, going through the Channel Tunnel. It will take us just over an hour to get to the tunnel, including a short stop before we get there to pick up some more passengers. From there, it'll be another 3 hours to Paris, so we're looking at 4 hours altogether, give or take a few minutes. A quick bit of advice about passports. You won't need these until we get to the Italian border, so I suggest you keep them in the safe, which you'll find in your cabin. Ask your steward, that's the person in charge of your carriage, for a key. That way, you won't need to carry them with you all the time. Now, meals. As I said earlier, breakfast tomorrow morning will be in your cabins, and this will be served at about 7:30, 7:45, so you'll be able to enjoy it as we travel along the southern French coast. Lunch is at 1 o'clock in the restaurant car, and dinner is at 8 o'clock, although we'd like you all to be at your table about 15 minutes earlier, at 1:45, if you could. When we get to the Italian border tomorrow morning, our train will change engines and we'll also be getting a new crew. We'll be taking advantage of the stop to have a look around. I've arranged a visit to the local market, a museum and a castle. This will take about 4 hours, with a break for coffee in a local cafe, and we'll be back on the train in time for lunch. A few quick rules. Some of you might have brought your own food or drink on board. That's fine, but could we ask that you consume it in your cabins and not in the restaurant or lounge? Could we also ask you to make sure your cabin windows are closed when you're not in your cabin? And whatever you do, don't get off the train until we reach the Italian border. Apart from the border and 1 or 2 other places which I'll tell you about, any stops we make will only be for a few minutes. I'd hate to leave anyone behind. All right, so moving on from the Italian border, we'll be heading right into the